Hello again and welcome to another Warhammer 40k Imperial Guard video, and before we get into today's video I would like to say a huge thank you to Harry Lane for sending in some awesome pictures of his test model for his new plastic Armageddon Steel Legion based off the Deathcore of Krieg plastic models. Totally get where you're coming from. Harry sent this picture and he was saying like, you know, I love my Steel Legion, I've got loads of the metal models, but whenever I transport them, they chip to fuck, and so I just wanted to make it my mission to get a plastic army. You know what, I'm totally there with you. When I use my Mordians, I use the metal ones at home, and I use the plastic ones when I go to events. That's just how I like to roll. So totally there with you, Harry. It's a great idea. Really like what you've done with the colour scheme here. It looks really good. Very Steel Legion. It's, you know, just looks really, really good. I have to say, I've been really impressed with some of the conversions I've seen of these old Krieger boys. I've seen Mordians, I've seen Valhallas, I've seen Armageddon Steel Legion. You know, I've seen all sorts of great things. Ironically, I've not seen many actual people using them as normal Krieg, which is kind of funny. But I guess all the Krieg players are still set on piles and piles of resin, aren't they? Anyway, thank you for sending in the picture, Harry. It looks really, really cool. You've done an absolutely fantastic job there. You've done the Legion proud. If anyone else has got any cool pictures they want me to use in my videos, please post them on my Facebook page, or you can do what Harry did. You can email them in to me at mordianglorytv@gmail.com. And don't worry if I said that too quickly, or if you don't remember it because you're an ogre who hasn't had his bone head surgery yet, there will be a link down in the description below for both the Facebook and the email and all that good shit. Anyway, without further ado, long enough introduction is, let's crack on with today's video. So what I'm going to be talking about today, guys, is it's kind of like a guard thing. I suppose it's from like a guard perspective, but I reckon there's probably a lot of players in a lot of different factions, a lot of communities with 40k that are feeling a very similar way to this. Or maybe I'm just mad and I'm feeling this is the only way. I feel this way. Who knows? But anyway, I'm going to be talking about where I'm at with 40k right now. What am I feeling? What are my thoughts towards it? Because it would be easy enough to go online and look at some of the forums and see, you know, 40k is gigafucked and all of the balance is all out of whack and everything's buggered and everything's all over the place. And then you could easily come to this channel and see that, like, I'm only really doing 50% 40k content these days, 50% bot action content, and be like, well, I guess 40k is a big bag of dog shit. Who wants to get involved in that? And, you know, that would be like an easy assumption to come to. And I know many of you, you know, rightly or wrongly, will feel that way. You know, I can't tell you if you're right or wrong. You feel what you feel, right? That's just what it is. And so what I thought I'd do is I would set down how I'm sort of feeling about 40k. And I use that word feeling rather than thinking. Because, like, thinking tends to be logical and with your brain and all that kind of stuff. And I don't have one of those. So I need to do the feeling bit, which is with, like, your heart and with, like, your gut instinct and just the general vibe that you're getting from 40k and what your sort of attitude towards the hobby is right now. So that's what I'm going to be doing in today's video. And I highly encourage as many of you guys to get down that comment section and just be honest. I mean, if you're feeling like a salty bastard, then get that down in the comment section. I don't mind. You guys know it's pretty free down there. If you're feeling like, you know what, I hate those salty bastards. I'm loving 40k. I'm a Custodes player. I'm a Tau player. You know, I'm a Tyranid player. This is what I've wanted. This is where I am. You know, this is what I want to do. I want to crush people. That's fine. Like, get that down in the comments. Or maybe just in between. Like, you know what? 40k has always been a bit imbalanced. You know, it's the same, whatever, blah, blah. Just whatever. Put it all down in the comment section below. And then it's almost be like a kind of informal census. It won't be like a statistical census, but it'll be like, what is the community at large feeling about 40k right now? You know, what's the general vibe out there? Am I right? Am I wrong? Anyway, and then all you guys can read the comments as well and be like, am I right? Am I wrong? You know. Anyway, where am I with 40k right now? So I guess, from my personal perspective, I'm going to travel back and look at the last sort of 12 months. Okay, because it was around this time, it's about a year ago, that in the UK, we went from being locked down and not being able to play any 40k whatsoever to being able to go out there and tournaments and everything was great. And it basically, the lockdown was essentially lifted by and large. There were still some restrictions like masks and whatnot, but you know, about a year ago is when we were given freedom, which is great. And I just went all in. You know, I was smashing events. You know, I literally texted one of my mates, Robbo, who runs loads of events and goes loads of events, and I've talked about on this channel before. He's been on a couple of videos and battle report stuff. He's like probably the best 40k player that I know, and he's probably the best sister player in the world, in my opinion. And, you know, he went like 60 games undefeated in a row. Anyway, it's not a love letter to Robbo. That's 60 competitive games in a row before he stopped counting with sisters. undefeated. But anyway, and I was like, Robbo, just sign me up to every event you're going to. Just me and you. Just I'll be your sidekick. I'll be like, the guy that's just like following around, going to all the events. I'll bring my guard and get smashed. You bring your sister, whatever you run, and you do great. And we'll just travel around and we'll hotels and all that kind of stuff. And it'll be great. So we did that, and Robert went to even more events than I do. I think at one point he was going to like an event every week, where I was sort of averaging one event every 2 to 3 weeks. I did loads of content, and then my channel really benefited from like, the finger on pulse of the net, because a lot of people couldn't go to events still around the world, different restrictions for different people, different countries and all that kind of stuff. But basically, what we're talking about here is I really smashed it. And there was probably about 9 months when I went to like 20 events, if not more, and just smashed it. And I ran everything from pure infantry guard to pure scions to pure mechanized armored guard to just regular normal guard to just Cadians, just bog standard goddamn Cadians. I mean, I ran everything from wilderness survivors and 18-inch rapid fire bastards to the gunner details, spotter experts, whatever it is for the tanks. I think I got those two mixed up a bit, and I ran everything in between. And I ran everything Lambden Lions from the Scions, Iotan Gorgons, Capic Eagles, everything. And I was literally, at one point, I was playing, a game every Tuesday at the club, every Thursday at in the battle bunker, just not battle reporting it, but just getting practice games in. And then and then go to an event and playing like 3 to 5 games over a weekend. So I was just like smashing it. And I got a little burned out. And so I think that did kind of colour my perspective slightly, but as a result of just absolutely smashing that competitive scene, I really got my fingers into like that sort of area. I was really marinating into that kind of area. And I guess partly I got burned out from just all the 40k, but I also, and this is coming back around to balance, which a lot of you people will be watching this video want me to talk about balance stuff, and I will be talking about that, of course. I mean, you can't talk about 40k and not talk about balance, especially competitively. But I guess one other thing that kind of burned me out was not just like the actual playing of the event, but also just playing uphill so often. There's only so long you can play uphill. There's only so long you can be the underdog before you get burned out. And I think that's really what did it for me, because every single month, whether there was some sort of update or a new faction came out, or there was a balance sheet, or there was a chapter approved, or blah de blah de blah, it didn't matter. Like, nothing ever changed. There was never like any overall improvement to the balance of the game. There was always something that was kind of just fundamentally broken about 40k. And that's kind of really what caused me to get burned out by it. It was the combination of just smashing that competitive scene so hard, so quickly, for so long. That sounds really inappropriate, but you guys know what I mean. And it was combined with the fact that I was so into it that I was, I'd be checking the forums every single day. I'd be, going online every single day. And I'd just be like, next update, that'll bring balance to the game. Next update, that'll fix the game. And it was like, it just never did. Do you know what I mean? And so for so long, we had Dark Elder that were on top. And Dark Elder is still, no matter what the online stats say, Dark Elder is still one of the most powerful factions out there. Admech are still really, really strong. Okay, if you want to run both those factions competitively, you're fine. But, in comparison to stuff that's come out recently, they're still like, some of the stuff that we've seen, it went Dark Elder, then it went Admech, then it went Custodes, then it went Tau, now it's going to be Tyrannus. If you've seen what's coming out for Tyrannus, guys, it's crazy. A flesh borer on a termagant has been the equivalent of a bolt pistol since time immemorial. And now it basically fires a heavy bolter shot. Basically, I am massively overgeneralizing, but just go and look at the glow up on that thing. Extra range, extra strength, extra AP. It's crazy. And you might say, yeah, but it's on like a 7-point platform. It's like, yeah, but it's still stupid. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's still dumb. And so I guess that's kind of where I started to just drift away a little bit from 40k and start just being like, what else is out there? What can I, play competitively where I really want to push myself and test myself, and really just what is push myself to the limits as a gamer kind of thing. And what can I play for just for friggin' fun, man? Like that's what can I play for that? And so I knew a lot of people that were getting into bot action. I had played it previously, but it hadn't quite hooked me. And I knew it had like a second edition, and that there'd been lots of improvements, and that things were having a good time. And I had my Japanese army that I'd built up during like lockdown, had like a game or two with, and I found it quite fun. So I thought, you know what, I'll just start exploring other game systems out there. So I tried a bit of Gaslands. I tried a bit of Aeronautica Imperialis. But most importantly, or most prominently, I really jumped into bolt action. And it was like travelling back through time. Obviously, it's World War II, right? I didn't even think about that. No pun intended. But okay, aside from it being World War II, it was like travelling back through time, because it was like I was around. I know this doesn't want me. This is going to make me sound super old, but it's not. I've just been playing 40k since I was a tiny little kid. Like, I was around for 3rd edition. I've been playing since tail end of 2nd, but really I've been playing pretty much non-stop since 3rd edition in one form or another. Obviously, competitively it's been different, but I've been playing competitively since 5th edition, right? And it was just like, holy moly, I'm basically back in 3rd edition / 4th edition 40k right now. Everyone's got the same force organisation chart, the reinforced platoon. There's limits on things you can take. So like, there's no need to have like a rule of 3 or spam or anything like that. It's like, no, you get a tank. And some people find that super restrictive, but when you start playing the game, it totally makes sense. And like, even if you want to spam infantry, you can only get like 5 squads of infantry. So like, it's restrictive. So no matter how hard you try and spam something, and I've done videos on this before, like you end up, bringing even a pretty balanced force. You know what I mean? Every army is pretty balanced. And that's really what, that magic word again, B for balance, whereas in 40k it's B for bullshit. In bolt action it was like, okay, this isn't a perfectly balanced game. There are definitely things out there which are pretty powerful. Like, multiple rocket launchers are pretty tasty, veteran infantry are pretty tasty. But it's, coming from 9th edition 40k, it's like, wow, this is something else. This is balanced. This is as balanced as a game as I've ever played. That's a tabletop war game, And it's arcadey and it's fun. There's loads of varieties of faction. And then I started, like, when the crack had appeared, when the crack had sort of, like, had happened, I started realising all the things that frustrated me about not just 40k, but about Games Workshop. Like how the model line for Guard has just been chopped. I wouldn't say chopped in half. I feel like I don't know the actual statistics, but I feel like we're down 75% of possible models, in terms of all the different regiments that have gone away, and all the different units from Forge World that have gone away, and all the different things, and special characters, everything that's just like gone away. And then I head over to friggin' Warlord's shop, and it's like, this is a company probably 100th the size of Games Workshop, with a model line that is as extensive just for bot action. And they don't just do bot action. They do like Pike and Shot and Black Powder and Blood Red Skies and all these other game systems. But it's like, just comparing just bot action to just 40k, there are as many, if not more, little unit options for bot action. It's crazy. Like, you go, it's not like when you go for like Marines, and it's like, okay, 40k, you've got your Marines, you've got your Blood Angels, you've got your Dark Angels, and they've all got like little upgrade packs. And it's cool. It's like loads of different chapters of Marines. It's like 8 chapters of Marines. It's like, that's pretty cool. And then you like think, oh, when I go to bot action, it's like, oh, it's just the US. And it's like, well, no, it's not just the US. You've got US Army, you've got US Airborne, you've got US Marine Corps. I think there's probably some other ones in there as well. Within each of those, you've got like winter uniforms and summer uniforms for the Army. You've got Rangers in there as well, which is like a little sub-faction. And then you've got, so we're looking, we're like 3 factions, 3 types of US forces. And then you've got in the Army, you've got the Rangers, you've got winter, you've got summer guys. Then you go to the Airborne, it's like, okay, we've got early war airborne, late war airborne, you go to the United States Marine Corps, and it's like you've got 2 or 3 different options for them, like early, late war, and they've all different like uniforms. You've got plastic models, metal models, and everything. Like, and that's just like for one faction, and it's like, holy shit, like this is one faction. It's just the US, and they're not even the most support. You then start going over to like Germans or Brits, and it's like, holy crap, these guys have got a lot of options. And so I'm going to come back round to where I'm at with 40k, so I'm on a tangent here, but like I started getting frustrated with Games Workshop as a whole. But bringing it back round to 40k, where am I at? Where am I right now? I feel like I've gone kind of through. I've flown high with being allowed to play 40k, and then I've got a little bit close to the sun. I've got a bit burned out. I've got a little bit like, okay, what's going on with this crazy game? And I've gone down, you know, and then I sort of swooped down a bit, and now I'm coming back up again. And now I'm starting to enjoy 40k again. And like, what's really started reigniting like my enjoyment of 40k is playing it again. And this is kind of the thing I want to take away from it. And I hope you'll all agree I haven't been salty in this video like at all. Like, I'm just telling you where I've been and why I'm enjoying, you know, a different game and all that kind of stuff. But where I'm starting to enjoy 40k again because I started playing it again. And I started playing with my guard and taking my guard into hardcore events and still being able to win. And what I realized, and I would say this to everyone out there who is kind of like feeling shitty about 40k right now, is like, as crazy as it sounds, just go and play it. Okay? Because when you just look at the stuff that's online, very quickly you'll start being like, 40k is a big bag of shit. I don't play 40k anymore. I've literally been there the last 2 months. Like, 40k is a big bag of shit. I don't want to be there anymore. Like, every other game system is infinitely better than 40k just because it's not 40k. That's where you'll be if you just read stuff online and you follow the meta and you come across forum posts to forum posts. This army's now gigafoot. This army's now broken. This army's now aged. You know, all this kind of stuff. And it's like, actually, just go out and play it. Go out and play it, because it is hard. Especially if you go and play like tournaments and stuff. Like, it is hard if you're playing Imperial Guard. You will be on an uphill. I've gone from being like 4-1 to 3-1 to like 3-2. Like, I'm seeing it. I'm maintaining about a 50% win rate overall. But like, you know, it is tough and it is an uphill battle. But it is also like, it is fun. 40k is fun. Rolling 1,000,000 dice with lasguns is fun. Firing your tanks is fun. Putting your big horde of infantry and tanks and artillery down on the battle mat is fun. And so what I've kind of realized is that like it's important to, for me personally, where I'm at is I'm enjoying 40k, but I'm not really investing much more in 40k right now. Right now, where I'm spending my hobby bucks, where I'm spending my hobby dollars, my hobby pounds, is I'm spending that on bot action, because that's my new game system and it's fun, and that's where I get my balance, and that's where I play sort of midweek is bot action. And then whenever I want to play 40k, I'm pretty much only playing 40k if I'm going to an event now. Like, I'm just going to go to an event and I'm not playing it casually. So it's like, when I want to test myself against, you know, and prove how, you know, to myself how much of like a good gamer I am, and like be as ruthless and efficient as possible with list building and like on the tabletop, obviously not being a dickhead, that's where I go for 40k. 40k is my hard mode. And when I want to just play for fun, and when I just want to be casual and just beer and pretzels it, that's where I'm going to bot action. Because there's less needing to, I don't need to try and balance my own list as much, because bot action is inherently a bit more balanced. Like I said, it's not perfect, no game system is, but I don't have to worry about balance as much. I can take some wackier shit because I know it'll probably work out in the end. So that's where I am with 40k right now. I've been through the I hate 40k, I hate Games Workshop phase. I'm out the other side. I'm playing 40k competitively, and I'm having a great time. And I'm kind of expanding my horizons. I've been playing a lot of Black Templars recently. I'm going to be doing a Black Templar Friday video for the first time in forever, either this Friday or next Friday. Like, it's going to be crazy. But that's where I am with 40k, and that's where I am with my hobby in general. And, you know, I'm loving it. I'm loving both. I'm back on the 40k bandwagon. I've been having a great time with my Black Templars. I'm back, I'm still enjoying playing with my guard, but I'm giving my guys, a well bit of deserved R&R, and I'm enjoying building and painting my bolt action. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As I said at the beginning, let me know where you guys are. I want to say a huge thank you to all the Patreon supporters. It is thanks to the Patreon supporters that I'm able to keep this channel going. It's thanks to them that I'm able to go to tournaments and bring back up-to-date meta info on based on real life results, not just on bullshit I've read on Warhammer or competitive Reddit or anything like that. And it's it's not just theorycraft, it's real craft. And it's also thanks to them that I'm able to actually try the game systems out and bring that back to you guys. Like, hey, look, if you're getting sick of 40k, don't give up. Just try this thing called bot action for a little bit. You'll enjoy it. So it's thanks to them. It's thanks to Patreon supporters that this channel is even doing what it's doing. So massive thank you. You guys know I say it every time now, but it doesn't mean I mean it any less for saying it more often. Just massive thank you. There's much more efficient ways of saying thank you to my Patrons and just not caring about it. But you guys know I care about my Patrons. Big thank you. If you're interested in becoming one, there's a link down in the description below. I'm not going to plug it any more than that. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you leave lots and lots of comments. And of course, I'll see you guys next time.